the southern, eastern, and northern western part of Liberia. Pleasant good evening and warm welcome to First News. First News is news presentations about slums, communities, ghetto schools, Africa, and our global community. Ongoing January 30, 2023 news. My name is Martin Jeremiah Bono Jr. The story stopping First News Today edition says, as Liberia prepares for presidential and general elections, President Weah has assured his government's commitment of free, fair, and transparent election comes October this year. Masurado County Senator aspirant Victoria Kokoya has declared Senator Sir Joseph's statement as deceptive and misleading. In order to avoid reoccurrence of delay in Hajj's activities in Liberia, several Muslims led by the owner of Mayuba and Son Petroleum Incorporated, Amadou Sharif, have launched Hajjah as Agency Muslims United Hajjah Umrah Agency of Liberia. And away from home, a South African judge presiding over the corruption trial of former President Jacob Zuma has withdrawn from the case in a move likely to cause further delays. These plus other stories, sports, and foreign news are all packaged in today's edition. We will take a short break. When we come back, we drive you through our news. Welcome to First News. Our first news says, as Liberians prepare for the presidential and general election, President Weah has reassured his government commitment of free, fair, and transparent election comes this year. The Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Liberia, George Weah, maintained that free, fair, and transparent election in the country, strengthening the country peace.
Therefore, we continue to demonstrate to the world that we are a peace-loving nation and that we are capable and ready to undertake elections that include all Liberians in a free and credible process.
In the related development, Liberia leaders have boasted with respect for laws, democracy, freedom of expression, freedoms of assembly under his government. He further disclosed that under his watch, Liberia cannot record of political prisoners.
As this year marked 2 decades since the signing of the Accra Comprehensive Peace Agreement in 2003, which also in the peaceful environment we continue to enjoy. It is my hope.
Meanwhile, President George Weah applauded the Liberian security sector for bringing decency into their sector and appreciates them for recently discovering serious arms and ammunition. He made this statement during his 6th national address as President of Liberia required by the Constitution.
We are working to news of the discovery of a large cache of arms in the container at the free port of Monrovia. We applaud the vigilance of all national security agencies for their collaborative efforts in effecting this bust. Coming on the heels of the October elections, this development.
President of Liberia, George Weah, addresses the nations. Former representatives of Electoral District 12, Masurado County, Richmond Anderson, has admonished Chicken Soup Factory community newly inducted leadership to be leaders of inclusive. Speaking as guest speaker at Chicken Soup Factory Community Leadership Inaugural Program, District 12 former lawmaker cautioned the leader not to be office leader, but to be leader that can go out and know people problem. Richmond Anderson made the commitment on January 28, 2023 at the induction ceremony of the Chicken Soup Factory leadership.
In my office, to say, chairman, no. We will What will leadership do for people to embrace you? What will you do?
Meanwhile, the newly chairman of the Chicken Soup Factory community, Henry Newman, has reassured the residents and citizens of the community about his commitment. He further vowed to work with the community dwellers and his team to make sure the community is electrified with street lights and others. In the same vein, representatives of District Number 12, Masarauco County, Judge Bian Sama, has officially inducted the new leaders into office. The new leaders are Henry Newman, Chairman, T. Iverson Sonjourn, Vice Chairman for Administration, Sia Kofed, Vice Chair for Operation, Samuel Dento, Secretary General, John Marco, Financial Secretary, and Molon Colley, Treasurer.
Please swear the having been elected to the position of
Judge Bian Saman inducting Chicken Soup Factory leadership earlier was the community new chairman and the former representatives of District Number 12, Masarauco County senatorial aspirant Victoria Congoe has distrusted Senator Sir Joseph's statement as deceptive and misleading. Senator Sir Joseph, speaking at Chicken Soup Factory Community Leadership's induction program, asked the newly community leaders to open account for politicians in the 2023. Masarauco County Senator Sir Joseph indicated that he will work along with community leaders as to bring money in the community, adding that he will bring crossroads to the community as to fix the road. He made these statements at Chicken Soup Factory Community, Pinsville, on January 28, 2023. In the related developments, Masarauco County senatorial aspirant Victoria Congoe described Senator Sir Joseph's statement as deceptive and misleading.
Deceptive, as deceptive to our people. Because once he's elected, he will sit there 2 years for election and he will come out to the people.
Victoria Congoe responding to Sir Joseph earlier was Sir Joseph, Senator of Masarauco County. In order to avoid reoccurrence of delay in Hajj activities in Liberia, several Muslims led by the owner of Mayuba and Son Petroleum Incorporated, Amadou Sharif, have launched Hajj Agency Muslim United Hajj Umrah Agency of Liberia. Muslim United Hajj Umrah Agency of Liberia is reported to ease the Hajj activities for every Muslim desiring to attend the pilgrimage in the Muslim Holy Land, Mecca. It can be recalled several Muslims did not attend the Hajj in 2022 due to internal conflict between the Muslim community. This is the launching program on Wednesday, January 15, 2023 in Panelsville community.
The movement of our brother and sister from Liberia to the Holy Land, to visit the Holy House, which is Kaaba, and the Holy Ground, which is Mecca.
Several Muslims there launching the Hajj Umrah Agency of Liberia. And from our foreign desk, the South African judge presiding over the corruption trial of former President Jacob Zuma has withdrawn from the case in a move likely to cause further delays. Judge Piet Koen said he wanted to avoid any risks of compromising the perception of justice after he earlier ruled against Mr. Zuma's effort to force out the prosecutors. Mr. Zuma is facing 16 counts of fraud and racketeering over the purchase of fighting jets and over arms equipment when he was vice president in the 1990s. Today's foreign news on the other scene. A senior U.S. military official confidentially told British Defense Secretary Ben Wallace that the UK's armed forces are no longer on par with those of an on-house sport decks. The Confederation of African Football CAF have appointed former FIFA badge referee George Rogers as Assistant General Coordinator for the 2023 Men's Under-20 African Cup of Nations final in Egypt. The final will be played from 19 February to 11 March in Cairo. Alessandro Asmilio, he will be based in Cairo from 14 February to 12 March. Rogers, who retired a year ago, is a certified coach, having completed a Liberian Football Association Diploma D coaching course from 24 October 2022. That's how we draw down the curtains of today's presentation. But before we leave you, I now recap our top stories. As Liberians prepare for the presidential and general elections, President Weah has reassured his government's commitment of free, fair, and transparent election comes October this year. Masarauta County senatorial aspirant Victoria Kokwe has described Senator Sir Joseph's statement as deceptive and misleading. In order to avoid reoccurrence of delay in Hajj activities in Liberia, several Muslims led by the owner of Maiba and Son Petroleum Incorporated, Amadou Cherry, have launched Hajj Agency Muslim United Hajj Umrah Agency of Liberia. And away from home, a South African judge presiding over the corruption trial of former President Jacob Zuma have withdrawn from the case in the move likely to cause further delay. Thanks to the entire staffs of Quality News TV Liberia, contributors for making the first news a production success. Thanks to every audience and to your supportive roles in our partners, Ebenezer Print Press. I have been your humble presenter, Martin Jeremiah Bonder Jr. Good evening.